Tell you what, still got it, haven't I? I didn't see you over there. How long have you been there? Anyway, welcome to Froch on Fighting with me, Carl the Cobra Froch, former unified super middleweight world boxing champion and International Boxing Hall of Famer. This episode is brought to you by Cobra Casino. I feel like I'm repeating myself every week because there's nothing really going on in the world of boxing, nothing to get the juices flowing anyway. But there are a couple of stories which we'll touch on. First one being Anthony Joshua takes on Daniel Dubois very soon, September 21st at the Wembley Stadium. And they've just broke the previous world record, the Wembley record, should we say, 94,000, I believe. Obviously, I mean, they've done 96,000 now, so they're headed towards 100,000. It's just fantastic. It's unbelievable, really, a boxing event to pull this kind of a crowd. As you know, I once boxed there in front of 80,000 fans. First never follows. That's what I'll say to that. Because there's a few people saying, how do you feel about the record being broken and there's more capacity there? How do I feel? I feel elated. It's brilliant that boxing is bringing all these people together, almost 100,000 people. How do I feel about my record getting broke? Good. The more people that break the record, the better. But like I said, first never follows. I was the first to do it since the war. I made history and it was fantastic. It was unbelievable to walk out to a venue that's got 80,000 people in the crowd, all cheering and booing. It was 50-50. I mean, I think George Groves walked out to boos and then I walked out to boos. But when he got flattened, there was plenty of cheering going off, let me tell you, and it felt good. And that was the last punch of my career. But Wembley Stadium is a fantastic venue. We should be grateful that this fight's actually happening at Wembley. A lot of the big fights are going out to Saudi Arabia at the minute. Listen, you know what my take is on that. The big fights are happening, so we're grateful for that. But as British boxing fans, we do want to see these fights in Britain. I want to see the O2 Arena sold out. I want to see the big venues up and down the country, the MEN in Manchester. But Wembley Stadium, to be headed towards 100,000, to answer your questions, and the people that say, how do you feel about it? Listen, I'm in the business of boxing now. Amongst other things, boxing is a big part of my business now, a big part of my life. So obviously, I'm so happy that this is happening. This is great for business, it's brilliant for the sport, and it's a sport that me and all the people that watch this channel, they all love. Boxing, professional boxing, the best sport in the business. It's the best sport in the world as far as I'm concerned. There's no truer place than that boxing ring. But yeah, good luck to both fighters on the night, Anthony Joshua, Daniel Dubois. I'll be doing my preview on the build-up to that fight very soon. I think you know who I think's going to win, who I think should win. But yeah, let's just enjoy what's going to be a fantastic occasion at the Wembley Stadium. So yeah, Floyd Mayweather has boxed at the weekend. I can't believe I'm saying it. He's fought John Gotti in Mexico. I think they pulled 22,000 crowd as well. So it's pretty big business, 22,000. But I don't know, my question would be, why is Floyd Mayweather still fighting? He had an unbelievable career, fantastic career. I remember his last fight was Conor McGregor, I believe. And he's just a legend of the sport. He's made so much money. Does he need the money? I know he lives a lavish lifestyle. He flies private everywhere. He likes the bling. He's got like diamond baguettes around his neck that look like the cost of the amount a country would cost if you wanted to buy one. It's just ridiculous. So maybe he does need the money to keep up the lifestyle. I don't know how much money he's earning. I don't know. 22,000 generates an amount, but the television broadcasters won't be paying much for this. Nobody seems to be talking about it, so I kind of don't get it. I'm trying to put myself in Floyd Mayweather's position. I mean, I never really seriously considered coming out of retirement. Once I retired, there was a few offers, there was a few potentials. I think one of them was Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., but he lost a fight, and that kind of killed me potentially coming back. But I'm 10 years retired, and I seriously would not consider jumping in the ring unless it was against somebody like Fake Paul. An easy fight, easy money, easy win. And we could do that for charity as well. But yeah, I don't get what his angle is. Maybe as an ex-fighter, he just can't let go. He just loves the sport that much. He loves to be in the ring. It's all he knows. He loves to be exchanging leather. People trying to hit him, he's ducking, he's diving, slipping and sliding. He's so defensively brilliant, isn't it, Floyd Mayweather? Maybe he just gets in there, he enjoys it, he finds it really easy. It gives him his adrenaline fix, and he just loves it. But for me, I don't know why he's bothering. He's a legend in the game. I hope it doesn't eventually end in tears. Somebody might end up catching him and knocking him out, and that would be terrible. But yeah, I mean, let me know what you think. Why is Floyd Mayweather still fighting? What's the point? Does he need the money? Or is he just getting his little adrenaline fix? Who knows? So something else I picked up on was Ben Whittaker is flirting with the idea of maybe fighting Chris Eubank Jr. We've not seen Chris Eubank Jr. for a while. And he's, like I said before, I think I said it on my channel last week, on my episode last week, that he's more of a celebrity fighter rather than a real fighter that wants to actually genuinely become a world champion, because he doesn't fight often enough. I think he just wants to make the money, and that's fair enough, wants to make the old bunts, and he wants to just get out without taking too many punches. He's not busy, he's not active, but Ben Whittaker has ambition. He wants to be a world champion. He's an Olympic silver medalist, so he's got that amateur pedigree, and he's a fantastic talent. People are questioning his punching power, but get in front of one of them and get one of them on the chin. Tell me what you think about the punching power. This kid can fight and they can bang a little bit as well. Maybe there's a bit of limitations in his power, but he's got speed and timing, he's skillful. Would that be a fight I'd want to see? Chris Eubank Jr., Ben Whittaker? I mean, the biggest hurdle there would be the weight division. I mean, Chris Eubank really is a middleweight. I know he's campaigned at super middleweight. He fought George Groves, and he's had a couple of fights at super middle, but he's not big enough in my opinion. He's a middleweight. Ben Whittaker is quite a tall kid, and he's quite powerful, and he's naturally heavy, so he's a light heavyweight. To put a middleweight in with a light heavyweight, that's, for me, it's a big problem. And I just think the freshness of Ben Whittaker, the speed, the punch volume, the work output, I just think would be too much for Chris Eubank Jr. It'd be a great build-up. The banter back and forward would be great. I mean, Ben Whittaker's very, very leery, and he's confident, and is quite nonchalant in his mannerisms. And Chris Eubank Jr. is obviously a showman like his dad was, the great Chris Eubank Sr. He's just been brilliant for the sport, and everybody kind of knows the name Eubank because of Chris Eubank Sr. So it'd be a big fight, it'd be interesting, and I'd definitely watch it, but is it realistic to put Ben Whittaker at light heavyweight in with a middleweight, Chris Eubank Jr., who's now getting on for 35 years old and looking towards the end of his career? I think they're just paying each other lip service, and they're building up a bit of banter and getting a bit of attention from it. And here I am talking about it on Froch on Fighting. But am I interested genuinely? Do I really think it's going to happen? Probably not. So Ben Shalom from the promotion company Boxer, who obviously works for Sky Sports, he would love to get this fight on because it's pay-per-view on Sky. He'd make a few quid, wouldn't he? It's either that, he wants to promote this fight, or he just wants to get his new turkey teeth in front of the camera. Yeah, Ben Shalom was on TalkSport having a debate with Simon Jordan as to whether or not Chris Eubank Jr. can be a world champion. He's saying that Chris Eubank Jr. is a phenomenal talent. Okay, the guy's got talent and he's got some skills, but is he a phenomenal talent? I don't know. That's up for debate. And will he ever become a world champion now? The guy's getting on for 35 years old. He's not active. And he's talking about fighting Canelo Alvarez. For me, that's not really plausible. I think it's unrealistic, and I tend to agree with Simon Jordan. Another talking point, I think, is Canelo Alvarez is still considering or still open to the idea of maybe fighting Terence Crawford. I mean, Terence Crawford's campaigned at 140, 147, so like welterweight, like middleweight, world champion, top fighter, probably one of the best in the business, definitely up there in the top pound for pound list, top 3 or 4. Maybe even number 1 or 2, Crawford. I mean, it depends. It's subjective, isn't it, pound for pound? But him against Canelo Alvarez, it's a fight I'd want to see. It's a big fight. It's a great fight. But again, it's the weight division. It's a weight-governed sport for a reason. Canelo Alvarez has been up as high as light heavyweight. I just think that he's probably too big and too strong for Terence Crawford. I just don't think that Crawford can go up anywhere near sort of middleweight, super middleweight, and still perform. We've seen him in his last fight, went the distance, and he's gone up a weight, and he didn't look really strong, did he? He didn't look really effective. So to go in against Canelo, I don't think that's a good idea. But that aside, Canelo has kind of, he's in an elite group in the Canelo, because he's told Turki Al-Sheikh, I'm not interested in doing business with you. And Turki Al-Sheikh spat his dummy out the pram and had a few things to say in a comeback. But, Canelo Alvarez, Carl Froch and Costa Zeus' son, there's only 3 of us. We don't hold hands, do we, with the Saudis? I mean, there's nothing personal at all, but we do our own thing. We're not going to be dictated to and told what to do and step in line. And you've got to respect Canelo Alvarez for that, because he's his own man. And I think there was, if I'm right, allegedly, there was a meeting lined up for Canelo Alvarez and Turki Sheikh, and the meeting never happened because Canelo Alvarez didn't fancy meeting him. And like I said earlier, he didn't like that turkey shake. So anyway, here we are. Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez. Are you interested in seeing that fight? I'd certainly watch it, but I think the weight division, the weight gap, is a big issue for me. So I recently did an interview for Coin Poker, and I was asked about Eddie Hearn and my relationship with him. My relationship with Eddie Hearn was absolutely fantastic. For those of you who don't know, if you've just started following boxing for the last 5 years, me and Eddie Hearn came together during my time in the Super 6 World Boxing Classic. My first fight, kind of officially under Eddie Hearn, was with Glencoff Johnson, which was the semi-final of the Super 6. Then my next fight was Andre Ward. But the first real big fight and the big breakthrough fight for me, really, back on Sky Sports, and for Eddie Hearn as a promoter with Matchroom, was the Lucian Bute fight here in Nottingham. I mean, that was an epic fight. And you can see me and Eddie Hearn, good friends, look at him jumping around the ring like a banshee. He jumped in a little bit too early and grabbed me from behind and lifted me up to celebrate when we both thought the referee had stopped the fight. But actually, the referee was administering an 8 count, and that actually could have got me disqualified, I think. But anyway, I didn't get disqualified. I won the fight fair and square. But me and Eddie have always been good friends, and we remain good friends. We really do. But there is a bit of an issue I've got with Eddie, which has been mentioned on the interview on IFL for Coin Poker. And it's not a major issue, but it's just a conversation that I want to have. And I don't want to go down this road of coming down the camera and coming on different channels and different media outlets and saying, look, I need to speak to Eddie. But if somebody doesn't pick the phone up and somebody doesn't respond to your message, or they agree to meet you and agree to spit the fat, as Eddie Hearn said we're going to do, and then 6 months goes by and he doesn't respond to you, I'm not going to start sharing text messages. I know how much you love that one when I start doing that. But I've been ignored. I know he's busy, which I've said on the interview, and I know he's got other things to do and think about me. But I do think that if you're somebody's friend and you've worked together, you've done business together like we have, the least you can do is acknowledge a text message or follow up on what you said. We're going to have a meeting, then let's have the meeting. Let's meet up. I want to get Eddie on Froch on Fighting. He's doing all these interviews with all these channels. Get yourself on Froch on Fighting, the biggest and fastest growing boxing channel on YouTube. We're getting the views, mate. We're getting the hits, and that's what you need as a promoter. You want to get out there, you want to get seen and heard. So come on Froch on Fighting, Eddie Hearn. Let's get you on. I know you've been on before, but come on again. And all I want to do is just make this quite clear. Me and Eddie Hearn, there's no beef, there's no problems. Eddie Hearn was absolutely brilliant for me in my career. It was fantastic. He took me to that next level. I excelled under Eddie Hearn, and I earned some serious Bunsen burner. He did as well, but we do need to get together and have a chat. And he did say he's going to meet up with me and have a chat. So let's get it on. Either come on Froch on Fighting and let's get it sorted, or come and meet me in private, face to face, and we can all move on like happy bunnies. So that's it for another episode of Froch on Fighting. Don't forget, tomorrow night I'll be playing poker on coinpoker.com. It's a Froch on Fighting free roll. So click onto the Froch on Fighting YouTube channel and you'll be able to see me playing poker, see what I'm all about. I'm not just good at fighting, you know, and many other things. I can also play a bit of poker. I've been doing it for years. So come and have a look. You haven't got to get involved. You haven't got to come and join and play poker. By all means, if you fancy a game, get yourself logged on. There's getting on for 2,000 people now joining this Froch on Fighting free roll. If you do knock me out of the tournament, there's a $100 bonus for you. But it'd be nice to see you. So get some questions in, and I'll go through them beforehand, and I'll go through the questions whilst I'm playing, and I'll also be integrating and chatting to people whilst I'm playing. Obviously, I've got to concentrate a little bit. It's a serious game of poker. I don't like losing. I certainly don't like getting knocked out. But if you can, tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, come and join me. And yeah, until then, this has been another episode of Froch on Fighting. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this boss channel. And we'll see you next time.